I am a bit nervous because this will be my first video recorded for YouTube. And I want to make this first video about Net Zero Industry Act of European Union. The Net Zero Industry Act was discussed starting from 2020 to 23. It is a document, a strategy, sort of, developed as a reaction both to the climate crisis we're currently facing and the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which caused quite a massive energy crisis worldwide. So, Net Zero Industry Act is in return a strategy to decarbonize the whole industry of the European Union. The biggest milestones of this strategy include dropping the greenhouse gas emissions by 55% until 2030 and achieving net zero emissions by 2050 across the whole Union and all the industries. Inside this big and ambitious goal, there are three smaller goals. First one is to promote investments. Second is to create a simple legal framework for EU-based net zero industries so that, legally speaking, if I want to enroll a new technology onto the market, it's understandable, it's scalable, and it's manageable for me to do. So there are laws that regulate this industry, so to say. And the third one is to cover 40% of domestic needs in the European Union with domestically produced clean technologies by 2030. This specific objective aims not only towards sustainability and towards the green and clean part of the change, but also towards manufacturing domestically, providing domestically, and having more jobs inside the European Union, increasing the GDP. So strengthening the economy via this change. And this part makes me believe that European Union will actually follow up on the plan, because the plan involves money and not only making everything green. Inside their strategy, the European Union brings out the following examples of net zero technologies, starting with solar photovoltaic and solar thermal, and the goals to achieve 320 gigawatts of newly installed solar photovoltaic capacities by 2025, and to increase this number even further to have 600 gigawatts installed by 2030. According to the European Union, such change could increase the GDP by 60 billion euros and create 400,000 new jobs. Only solar. Onshore wind and offshore renewables are also a topic, and the plan is to grow from 204 gigawatts in 2022 to more than 500 gigawatts in 2030. Like, the goal of the European Union right now is to make wind stand for at least 42.5% of renewable energy generated in the Union. And the Union has very strong winds, so that's extremely achievable. However, we need to understand that on average, a wind project takes about 3-4 years of development. The permitting process is increasingly extremely slow. There is a separate target for energy storage and batteries. Energy storage is extremely important because it allows us to not only have energy when the wind blows or when the sun shines, but also allows us to store this energy and to balance out the renewable energy throughout our days. Currently, the European Union has the following targets for battery collections. They want to collect 63% of portable batteries in 2027. They want batteries from light means of transport to be collected by 51% in 2028. And there is a target of material recovery for lithium of 50% by 2027. Now, by 2030, for lithium, the target would be 80%. For light means of transport, it would be 61%. And for portable batteries, it would be 73%. There is also a target for heat pumps. And currently, by 2030, the predictions are that heat pumps will lower Europe's gas demand for heating in buildings by at least 21 billion cubic meters. Renewable hydrogen is one of the biggest topics of Net Zero Industry Act and of the European Union's energy strategy in general. So, renewable hydrogen or green hydrogen is made by water electrolysis. So, in very simplified terms, you electroshock water and it spreads into hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen is flammable and it can be used as a fuel. It's a gas, it doesn't have any color or odor, but it's quite energy dense. Hence, renewable hydrogen targets are also quite high for the European Union, as hydrogen currently represents 2% of the European Union's energy mix, and by 2050, hydrogen could represent 20% of the energy mix of this from 20 to 50 of energy demand in transport and in industry. The thing is that hydrogen can be a good thing for fueling our logistics, our cars, our planes, our trains, as batteries need recharging. They are heavy, so it's a bit complicated to electrify everything using batteries. But for planes, for example, we could use hydrogen to decarbonize the industry. And I know many of people who've heard this thought before in all the contexts are calling flammability straight away, saying that, yeah, hydrogen is dangerous, there were many accidents with it, of course, but so is our current fuel. And many scientists and many companies are working on making hydrogen less dangerous for us to use in our transport. So I truly believe that this will be quite a way forward for the nearest future, for the foreseeable future. Now, there are also targets for biomethane and biogas. In 2021, biogas and biomethane production represented the same amount of natural gas consumption of Belgium, or 196 terawatt-hours. By 2030, European Union's biomethane production must reach 35 billion per year. And regarding the CO2 capture and storage, it's expected to grow to 80 million tons of CO2 and reach at least 300 million tons in 2040. Carbon capture is important, yet it should not be the biggest priority, because carbon capture allows oil and gas companies to say, okay, we do capture our carbon, but we will continue emitting. And that's not what we want. We want them to stop emitting, but we will also probably need to capture carbon to reach our objectives, because there's just too much carbon in the atmosphere. And yes, oil companies are important right now for the economy, but we should, I believe, be a bit more aggressive regarding them stopping emitting. Please do let me know what do you think about it in the comments, as this is a very complicated and complex and political topic. And I would like us to be open-minded about it and share opinions about it. Yeah, and that's the Net Zero Industry Act. I hope for the first video this wasn't too short or too long, and you would help me a lot if you can leave some feedback in the comments so that I can improve, enhance and understand whether this is a topic of interest for you and whether I should pursue my desire of making videos for YouTube. So thank you very much, and we see each other in the next video.